Check out carmarshal.com. The link is in the description. They help support us.
Jason Kirby.
Good evening. Imagine being told that the police had shot and killed your son, then hours later, he walks through the door.
That's the emotional roller coaster one White County mom was on after the sheriff misidentified the man they killed. Investigative reporter Ben Hall first raised questions about a White County police shooting that has received international attention.
Get on the ground!
Body camera video shows the chaos last April as officers ran to the pickup truck they fired on after a two-county chase.
Subject has sustained gunshots.
They discovered the driver had been shot, then immediately questioned who he was.
Who's this? Anybody know who he is? No. All right, let's get him out of here. Jason Kirby. Okay.
They quickly identify him as Jason Kirby. Kirby's mom, Pat Randolph, soon learned on social media that her son was dead.
It was terrible. It was a nightmare, you know. My son was dead, you know. I just couldn't handle it.
Randolph immediately left for the hospital, but drove up on the shooting scene. That's where White County Sheriff Odie Shoup told her in person that her son was dead.
He just said it like, you know, well, your son's dead. That's it. You know, he shot at us and we had to take him out. No concern, no, you know, nothing.
But an investigation would later reveal the driver did not shoot at officers, and in fact, didn't even have a gun. Sheriff Shoup told Randolph to go on to the hospital, where even there, she says they confirmed it was her son who was killed.
Yeah, it makes me mad. Makes me really mad.
But incredibly, it turns out Jason Kirby was not dead. He was alive and working, away from his phone. He did not realize his entire family thought he'd been killed. He finally saw his mom that evening.
I went in and hugged her, you know, and told her, you know, I'm all right, I love you. And she just cried for like, I don't know, hours, you know.
The man officer shot was actually Michael Dial. The chase began in neighboring DeKalb County. Officers tried to pull over Dial for driving on a suspended license.
412, do we know who he is? 10-4.
When DeKalb County ended its pursuit at the county line, radio traffic reveals they knew exactly who the driver was.
5 White County, it's going to be a late model Chevy truck, spray painted black in color, hauling a red and black trailer. Subject should come back to a Michael Dial.
Jason Kirby admits he'd had run-ins with the White County Sheriff in the past.
Me and him's had a few altercations in the past, and, you know, it took me a while to straighten up and get right.
Their history made the sheriff's comments right after the shooting, caught on a body camera he didn't know was recording, even more disturbing.
I told him, I said, take him out.
I heard.
Damn, I don't give a
It wasn't long after that I heard shots fired.
They said, we're ramming. I said, don't ram him, shoot him.
Kirby was shocked when he heard the sheriff, who at the time thought he was the one dead, talk about the pursuit and his order to use deadly force.
I love this God, I tell you what, I thrive on it.
He's proud of killing that guy. I mean, thinking it was me.
It's unclear whether DeKalb County ever told White County the name of the suspect they were chasing, but they did know it. Pat Randolph feels for the Dial family, and she's still traumatized by hearing the sheriff say her son was dead.
It tears me up. You know, it's a nightmare. Why, you know, he assumed it was him, didn't even, to me, feel like he checked into anything before he assumed it was him.
The sheriff is not commenting on this case and did not return our calls. The DA says he does not support what the sheriff said on that body cam. But because Mr. Dial was putting the public in danger, he says officers were justified to use deadly force.
Thanks.
Watch, sheriff wrongly tells mom her son was killed by officers. Sparta, Tennessee, body camera video shows the chaos last April as officers ran to the pickup truck they fired on after a two-county chase. Get on the ground, one officer shouted as he approached the pickup. Subject has sustained gunshots, another officer shouted. They discovered the driver of the pickup had been shot. They then immediately questioned who he was. Officer, anybody know who he is? Another officer, no. Another officer, Jason Kirby. Officer, okay. They quickly identify the driver as Jason Kirby. Kirby's mom, Pat Randolph, soon learned on social media that her son was dead. It was terrible. It was a nightmare, you know, my son was dead. I just couldn't handle it, Randolph said. She immediately left for the hospital, but drove up on the shooting scene. That's where White County Sheriff Audie Schauk told her in person that her son was dead. He said it just like, well, your son's dead. That's it, you know. He shot at us and we had to take him out. No concern, nothing, Randolph said. But an investigation would later reveal the driver didn't shoot at officers and in fact didn't even have a gun. Sheriff Schauk told Randolph to go on to the hospital. And even there, she says she was told it was her son who was killed. But incredibly, it turns out Jason Kirby was not dead. He was alive and working away from his phone. He did not realize his entire family thought he had been killed. He finally saw his mom that evening. I went in and hugged her and she just cried for like hours, you know, Kirby said. It makes me mad yet. It makes me really mad, Kirby said. The man who was actually killed was Michael Dial. The chase involving Dial began in neighboring DeKalb County. Officers tried to pull him over for driving on a suspended license. But DeKalb County ended the chase at the county line. Radio traffic reveals at that time they knew exactly who the driver was. Notify White County it's going to be a late model Chevy truck. Subject should come back to a Michael Dial, the DeKalb County dispatcher said. Jason Kirby admitted he's had run-ins with the White County sheriff in the past. Me and him's had a few altercations in the past, you know. It took me a while to straighten up and get right, Kirby said. Their history made the sheriff's comments to another deputy right after the shooting caught on a body camera they didn't know was recording even more disturbing. Sheriff, I told him, I said take him out. Deputy, I heard. Sheriff, damn, I don't give a sh. Deputy, it wasn't long after that I heard shots fired. Sheriff, they said we're ramming. I said don't ram him, shot him. Foo that sh. Kirby was shocked when he heard the sheriff, who at the time thought he was the one dead, talk about the pursuit and his order to use deadly force. Sheriff, I love this sh. God, I tell you what, I thrive on it. Jason Kirby said, he's proud of killing that guy, thinking it was me. It is not clear whether DeKalb County ever told White County the name of the suspect they were chasing. Pat Randolph feels for the Dial family, and she is still traumatized by hearing the sheriff say her son was dead. It tears me up. It's just a nightmare. Why did he assume it was him? Didn't even check into anything before he assumed it was him, Randolph said. White County Sheriff Audie Schauk did not respond to our call asking for an interview or an explanation about what happened. Michael Dial's wife is suing the county and the sheriff's office has said he cannot comment because of the lawsuit.
County, this is Charlotte County Cop Watch, and I wanted to explain what fair use is. You can use pieces of news articles if you're doing it for news reporting, you have commentary, and you're doing it for education purposes. So that's what fair use is, as you can see right here. Another reason why I wanted to make this video is to let you know I have just joined with Patreon. A nice thing with Patreon, I make no money on YouTube. They took the money away years ago, and so this is another way to give, and it's a nice thing too because you can give monthly. You can give $1, $5, $10, whatever. I do 4 to 5 hours a day on trying to wake the sheeple up on how corrupt it is and different ways that you can fight the corruption. So Patreon is a way that you can do it, and then of course the old way is still there. Donate to Sheriff County Cop Watch with PayPal or credit card. So keep that in mind. 4 to 5 hours a day. I make no money, but the corruption happened to me and I'm sick of it, so I'm trying to wake people up. But my wife would love it if some, if we could get some help out there. There's 47,000 subscribers, just think if each one of you subscribers just gave a, let's say, actually, yes, $1 a month. 47,000 subscribers gave $1 a month. That would be awesome. That's not going to happen. But anyways, that would be great if it did happen. But, you know, do the math in your head. Just think about it. Like I said, 4 to 5 hours a day. I get no money from YouTube. YouTube has gone nuts. You can't do anything anymore. They're taking the money away everywhere. So these are a couple different ways that you can still help out with all this time that I put in. And as you know, I'm in a special situation where, you know, at least I can do it. You know, 4 to 5 hours a day. We have a cleaning company during the day. That's what allows me to do this, and we're debt free. So this is my hobby. I don't go fishing and all that other crap. I try to save the world. So help me out to make the wife happy, man. In fact, if you guys did give $1 a day, and there was 47,000 of you, and you did it, and each of you gave $1, and that was every month, oh my God, yes, I could quit. I could start suing them. Another idea too that we have is, you know, if I got, you know, some funds, we could actually contact everyone that has been ticketed and or arrested and put in jail and start sending them postcards to let them know we're here, and to see if everything went all right, and if it didn't, find out their story. So we could even do more investigations and more lawsuits. Lawsuits take money. So just think about that. You know, 47,000 of you so far right now. You know, $1 a day. I mean, $1 a month on Patreon, or $5 a month Patreon, 10, 20, whatever. Just do the math in your head. Help out. This is a lot of work every single day. Thanks.